Life is hard for a trencher, but for a gravedigger of Cygnar, it's harder still. Mud, blood and cold steel. That's their daily reality, and a few know it better than the 87th, the Caspian Jailbirds. The men and women of the 87th hold to one of the oldest traditions in the corps. With a few exceptions, they are penal conscripts. Many once served in other trencher companies until something went wrong. Faced with a choice, serve time behind bars or serve another tour in the mud, they chose the latter. These aren't just standard soldiers, they fight harder because they have no one else to fight for. And today we're bringing them to life with paint. First, prime your model in black. After that, give it a zenithal highlight with white. I used an airbrush for this step, but a reticule works fine too. Just spray from above and at a 45-degree angle to catch the top surfaces and simulate natural light. Next, grab a dome-headed dry brush and start dry brushing the model using downward strokes. This helps to bring out texture and adds more soft highlights. After that, take a normal brush and enhance some parts with pure white. Focus on raised areas and edges to help later colors pop. Now we start laying in some colors. Paint the shoulder pads and knee pads with Nuclear Sunrise by Army Painter's Speedpaint range. Next, paint the trousers and the jacket with Battleship Grey, also from Army Painter. Once that is dry, add a layer of Tyrian Navy over the trousers to deepen the tone and create a contrast with the jacket. Now paint all the metal parts, like the helmet and shin pads, with broadsword silver. Use Noble Skin from Army Painter for all leather parts like belts, straps and pouches, and also his backpack. Then take bony matter and apply it to the ropes and gaiters. Try to avoid the leather belts to keep the materials distinct. Don't forget the gun parts like I did. I painted those with broadsword silver as well. Then add a bit of Tailor's bronze to bring in some color variations on the metal areas. For the wooden part of the gun, I used a mix of ruddy fur and noble skin in a 2:1 ratio. This gives a rich, warm wood tone. Also use pure ruddy fur to add depth to the leather parts, not all over, just on selected spots for a tonal variation. Paint the boots with occultist cloak for a dark, grounded look. For the face, use Peachy Flash. Then take some very diluted slaughter red and gently apply it to the lips and nose, maybe if you like to, the ears if they are visible, to add a touch of life and realism. I also went back and added a bit more raffia to the gun just to warm it up and blend it all together by adding some more wooden parts. Now I cheated a little bit here and did not use an army painter or P3 paint. I wanted a really bright silver, and so I used the metal color aluminium by Vallejo. It's not a speed paint or P3 paint, but it works wonders for scratches and edge highlights over the broadsword silver parts. To finish the metal, I gave them all a wash of non-oil by Citadel. It pulls everything together and deepens the shadows. Time for some P3 highlights. I used Capitan Red, Meaty Ochre and Icy Yellow to highlight the orange parts like the shoulder pads and knees. I started with a chunky Capitan Red highlight with bigger strokes and then added a layer of Meaty Ochre on top. And finally I finished with Icy Yellow on the edge highlights and accents. Using Icy Yellow, add highlights to the robe and gaiters as well, just to give them a worn and sun-faded edge. To highlight the face, I used Rin Flash by P3. For the backpack, I painted it with Cygnar skin to give it a more worn-out weathered look, and after that, for extra detail, I also used Ice Yellow to add small scratches to some leather parts. It's a small touch, but it really sells the wear and tear. For the base, I used AK's Wet Muddy Ground texture paste to give it a grim trench warfare look. Then I painted the rim black, sealed the model with a matte varnish from AK Interactive, and this jailbird was ready to fight for Cygnar. And that's it. Our Caspian Jailbirds is ready to march, dig in and hold the line for the glory of Cygnar. Thanks for painting with me, and I'll see you in the next tutorial where we will paint together the Furious First.